The north ridge of Tabernacle Dome is even scarier than Angel's Landing. Some people prefer to do this with a rope, but you can definitely do it without one. Just definitely be careful and know there's a lot of exposure here. Right now we're heading up to the top of Tabernacle Dome, right over there. Probably one of the more exposed hikes in the park. There's even a couple climbing pitches on it, but they're a little bit more like a 5'2" and a 5'4". It's a little scary. So something most people would be comfortable without a rope doing. But yeah, we're heading up there. This trail is like a little more adventurous than Angel's Landing, which is pretty cool for those wanting to get away from the crowds. No one's really up here too often, and the scenery up on this side of the park is amazing. So the first part of this hike is pretty mellow. It's maybe just a mile flat hike, maybe less, to the first little scramble that you get to before getting on the rock. It's a little bushwhacky to start, and I remember it's a little hard to find the first chute in there. When I say chute, there's these cool water runnels. The water flows down. That's your first little scramble to get up to the peak. Alright, we're in the shade. We're at the first little solo. I wouldn't even call it a solo. First scramble. But I am going to need my hands for this. So. Cool. You down there. And scramble. This hike reminds me a lot of Half Dome in Yosemite, and the sandstone feature even looks similar to it as well. It just has a way shorter approach. It's a little scary. Check out how cool this is. Kind of crazy. Standing under this big thing. Pretty chossy rock. Alright, we were a couple chutes off. We're supposed to... My bad! Here are some cool moki balls I found on top of one of the sandstone layers here. And here's one of the first good views you get coming through this little slot that opens up and looks over Zion. I still can't believe I climbed the wrong chute to start, but it wasn't much harder than the original or right way up. I'm going to put the right directions up in the description and also show the way down. Alright, we're right at the first saddle, right between these two big rock spires. Oh, that's the ridge we're climbing. Alright, we're starting the ridge. Pretty soon. I need both my hands in a few spots. So I'll put the camera in my mouth. Classic camera angle. This is my mouth. This is the most exposed section of the North Ridge, and probably the scariest, but the climbing's pretty easy. You can take your hands off at almost any point, and it's about 5'2". As you can see, a fall here would be fatal, and I'd highly recommend being confident in your footing or having a rope on you during this section. This is the last section before the summit. It's a pretty cool little scramble, good handholds and good footholds all the way up. This summit is pretty quick. It took me about an hour to an hour and a half from the car to get to the top, and another hour to get back down. this point, I decided to turn around after summiting. The climb down is kind of exciting as you have to sit down and butt scoot a lot of the way. But like I said, it's pretty quick and a fast way to get down. Some people can put a rope on this section if they prefer and lower themselves down. There are a few anchors or bushes to lower off on the way. So this is the correct way up and down. You end up coming up this slot, and it's really easy to climb. It's only about 5'4". Some people would still prefer to have a rope on them.
I messed up the other one, but came back down the right way. So go up this way. Super easy. Way easier than that jakey shit I just pulled. So, yeah.
Thanks for watching, and subscribe for more videos.